But what really gets me jazzed up, about this fight card, about UFC 311, is fucking Jiri Prochazka and Jamahal Hill. Dude, this shit's gonna be fucking wild. I am so stoked for this. Okay? This is gonna be the highlight of the night for me. Obviously, the main events are gonna be fucking crazy and awesome, and I'm for sure, that's gonna be more than likely the best part of the night. But we all love Jiri. Everyone loves Jiri. So to see him come back now, against Jamahal Hill, oh, it's gonna be Krispy Kreme. And we need to talk about Jiri and Jamahal Hill, because I want to touch on some things about them that you may not know. All right? The hardcore MMA, the hardcore UFC fans, you guys already know. Okay? But there's people out there who are either just getting into UFC or have been in it and maybe don't know about this aspect of it. So I'm going to talk about it. So both Jiri and Jamahal Hill, they both had the light heavyweight title within few months of each other. They both had the title like back to back from each other, and they both had to vacate the belt because of an injury. Both of them. Okay? So basically, Jiri got the belt. How did it go again? Yeah, okay, yeah. No. Okay, wait, yeah, okay. Jiri had the belt. Okay, so then you got to cut that out, dude. Cut that out. We're going to cut here. Jiri had the belt. Jiri got injured and had to vacate the belt. Okay? So then Jamahal Hill went to fight for the vacated belt against Glover Teixeira. Okay? And then Jamahal won that fight, and Jamahal got the belt, the vacated belt. He got it. All right? But then Jamahal got an injury. Then Jamahal got an injury, and he had to vacate the belt. So then the belt was back fucking vacated again. Okay, so then the vacated belt was rescheduled for Jiri again and Alex. Okay? Alex Pereira. Now, mind you, Alex Pereira had just come over to light heavyweight after winning the middleweight title and vacating that to come to light heavyweight. And he had only had one light heavyweight fight at this point. It was he had one light heavyweight fight. He won it. And then the light heavyweight title was on the line again because Jamahal had to vacate it. Okay? So then the fight was scheduled for Jiri and Alex because they're like, okay, Jiri, here's your chance to get that belt back. And then Jiri had his match with Alex, and we all saw how that went down. And Jiri got defeated, and Alex got the title. All right? And then Jiri had another rematch with Alex Pereira, and he lost again. So that was his second chance to get that light heavyweight title, and he lost again. So now we're seeing Jiri fight Jamahal. Both those guys who had the title and had to both vacated within moments of each other are now fighting each other, which they would have ended up fighting each other anyway if either of them had kept that belt. But now they're fighting each other, and whoever comes out on top is still going to be like the next in line to at least be considered to go for the belt again. But when you look at this, it's like, okay, so let's say Jamahal Hill wins, all right? And by the way, I didn't even mention, we saw Jamahal Hill also go up against Alex at UFC 300. I think it was 300. Yeah. To try to win the belt back himself. And of course, he lost to Alex Pereira. So Jiri lost twice to Alex Pereira. Jamahal Hill lost once to Alex Pereira. These guys both had the belt in their hand. It was there. It was theirs. But they never even had a chance to even consider defending it because they both had an injury and both had to vacate it. It was lost. And now they're fighting each other. Okay, so if Jamahal wins, Jamahal will probably eventually have a second shot at Alex Pereira. And he's not going to win against Alex. As long as Alex keeps the belt, he's not going to win against Alex, all right? But then you got to look at it, it's like, okay. So then what happens to Jiri if Jamahal Hill wins? Then I feel like that's going to be the downfall of Jiri Prochazka, which just sucks to think about. Because it's like, you lost twice to Alex, you lost to Jamahal Hill. What's left for you, buddy? You know, you're going to be you're going to be on fight night cards, you're going to be on like prelims, like you're going to slowly decline. All right? So I think like if Jamahal wins tonight, it's kind of a lose-lose for him. Because if Jamahal Hill, not tonight, but when Jamahal wins, if Jamahal wins, he's going to go up against Alex again, eventually. And he's still not going to win against Alex. So it's like, as long as Alex has the title, Jamal's not getting that back. All right, but then if Jamahal loses, then it's his downfall. Okay? But then it's like, if Jiri wins, does Jiri get that shot at the title again? Are they going to let him go in for fucking a third rematch against Alex? I don't know. But then it's like, okay, well, what if Alex really does decide to vacate that title and move up to heavyweight? Because Alex can for sure move up to heavyweight. We already know he's been talking about that. He's actually more comfortable as a heavyweight. And there's the opportunity for him to fight either Jones or Aspinall, depending on how that situation all plays out. So then if Alex fucks off to heavyweight, then that means now Jamahal and Jiri both are going to be fucking scrambling to get that belt. There's so many fucking... Because of all this shit that's going down in the light heavyweight division, this Jiri and Jamahal fight is going to determine so much of what's going to happen. Because, you know, we all want Jiri to win. But here's the thing. Yes, I'm voting for Jiri to win. But when you look at the situation, when you look at what's going on, when it comes to defense, Jiri's defense is minimal at best. It's abysmal. His defense is not great at all. So for him to go up against Jamahal Hill and to really think that, is Jiri going to win against Jamahal Hill? I don't know. I really don't know, because Jamahal Hill's no slouch. But then when you look on paper at Jiri's career, Where's he at here? Let me see. So his record, his overall record, not just UFC, but his overall record is 30 wins, 5 losses, 1 no contest. All right? He's ranked number 2 in the light heavyweight division. Now, out of those 5 losses, out of those 5 losses, 2 of those losses were to Alex Pereira. The other losses weren't even from people in the UFC. He's only had 6 fights in the UFC, but he's never lost a fight in the UFC. The only people he's lost to in the UFC were from Alex Pereira. And the majority of his wins were from knockouts. 26 of his wins were from knockouts. He's only had 3 submissions. And then when you look at Jamahal Hill, he's never submitted anybody. Well, he's never won by submitting. He's only won by knockouts, but he's only had 7 knockout wins, and his record is 12-2. So his whole thing, both Jiri and Jamahal, you're not going to see much grappling or wrestling or jiu-jitsu from these guys. They're going to be on their feet the whole time, slugging it out. Which means that there's a chance that Jiri can lose. There's a chance Yuri's going to lose. But you gotta hold out for the guy because of his experience and the fact that it is, him against Alex Pereira. It's like, okay, who the fuck's going to beat Alex Pereira? That guy's unbeatable. But you got to have hope that him up against Jamahal Hill, he has a chance. But when you look and listen to guys who are obviously experienced in MMA and know about MMA and know what they're talking about, it seems like the majority, if not everybody, agrees with me. They're like, yes, we want Jiri to win, but it's probably not going to happen. So this is one of those situations, which it happens almost every fucking UFC event. It's one of those situations where I want someone to win, but they're more than likely not going to. But if Jiri does win, I'm going to be so fucking stoked. I'm going to be so fucking stoked. So that's why I really wanted to touch on the Jiri and Jamahal Hill subject, because not a lot of people are really talking about it. And so if you didn't know about what's going on here, now you know. There's all this mess of shit that has been going on over the past year and a half, 2 years in light heavyweight. And now we're seeing fucking Jiri and Jamahal go against each other.
Tap here to watch the full episode of the Dynamite Gizmo podcast.